Good evening, and welcome to the Professional Women's Beta Roundtable event. So, this evening, before we begin, I would like to remind everyone of how the format for these events are. The first segment will be an introduction and position statement by each participant. They will introduce themselves and give their position statement about the topic, and each person will have a maximum of 3 minutes for this. The second segment are questions for clarification. Each participant may ask other participants questions to clarify their positions and to get more information. The third segment are observations and comments. Each participant can make observations and comments about the discussion until that point. The final segment is the most interesting segment, and that segment is spontaneous conversations. All the participants can discuss freely about the topic, with the moderator helping to make sure everyone has an equal opportunity to participate. So, I would like to introduce our first participant this evening. Uh, and our participant is Ana Paula. Ana Paula, please introduce yourself and tell us about yourself. Your microphone is off.
And now
Yes, now
it's
you're
okay?
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, good night, good
Good
evening.
evening. Yeah, okay.
Um, my name is Ana Paula. Everyone can listen me or
Yes, everyone
not?
can hear you. They can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Paula. Um, I'm working at the Banco do Brasil. I'm recently promoted to a management at the accountability department. And about the subject, uh, I think the subject uh, is very important to discuss because we have a lot of um, prejudice.
Yeah, or you can say
Yeah,
we have a lot of damages, a lot of
damages, and our caminho, our
our road.
our world has more difficult than the man's roles.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to introduce our next participant, Flavia Ferreira.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Um, my name is Flávia. I'm from Minas Gerais, and I'm civil engineer. I work with engineering solutions and heavy constructions like bridge, tunnels, railroads, soccer stadium. About the subject that we will discuss today, um, I like the article. I think the global pandemic highlighted the challenges associated with childcare, family time, mental health for women and men too. But I think women face more challenges than men. Looking for the examples in the article, there is evidence that, for example, work from home arrangements give women safe space from microaggressions. That's why I think we are heading to companies with more flexible work polishes and
Policies.
policies, and searching for more hospitable environments. For example, when a woman senses obstacles to advance in one job, she probably will move to another that offers more potential to go ahead. And this is related with something that I discussed with John a few weeks ago. This is explain why so many women who study engineer leave the field. and I think we can discuss this tonight.
Great. And finally, our last participant, Marina. Marina, is your camera functioning?
Yeah. No, sorry. The camera it was closed.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. Here is Marina. Nice to meet you. I didn't know you. It's the first time that I participated of this round the table. I am a planning specialist. I work for a medical devices company, and I'm interested in this subject because as a woman, I know that we face a lot. I think that we face some discrimination at the workplace, and also we have some challenges. I can say because I'm a mother of two kids, and I try to how can I say equilibrate. I try to
To
equilibrate.
balance.
Yes, I try to balance my work life, my life, and my career, and try to be productive. And I believe that uh, when you are a woman and you are you have a man's doing the same job, and you have kids, it's more challenging for women. And uh, this subject, I believe that will be really interesting, focusing leadership. It's that.
Great. So, okay, let me restate your positions here. From what Ana Paula said, and tell me if I'm correct, Ana Paula. You believe that this is an important discussion because women have suffered, you said prejuízos, the normal translation of damages, but suffered disadvantages, suffered inequalities. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Flavia said the same thing. She talked about microaggressions and that how the pandemic gave everyone the opportunity to see the alternative so that remote work showed that working at home for women can be a safe place. Um, and that's something that needs to be considered. And Marina talked about the fact of being a mother can be very challenging because you have two jobs. You have your job, the same job that a man might do, but then you have the other job of being the mother of children, which is different than any other possible role. Does everyone agree with what I summarized,
Yeah.
Flavia?
If I agree with Marina, what Marina said,
No, do you agree with what my summary, what
yes,
I said?
yes, totally, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, what I would like for you guys to do right now is to ask each other questions regarding your experiences, your feelings about being a woman professional. Who would like to ask the first question of another participant?
I have a question
Okay.
to Flavia, because Flavia is an engineer, and I
Mhm,
know that most of engineers are men, and
mhm,
I don't know, but I think that there is a discrimination when you are a woman leader, and
mhm,
you need to deal with a lot of men. I don't know if it's if it's your case, but how to be I don't know how do you feel to be I don't know if it's confident
mhm,
to try to have a good how could say se impor as coisas, John. How
mhm,
could I say?
To have the confidence to lead, to give orders,
Yes,
to
so
guide the
a lot of
team.
men, yes, to team when most of your team it's men are men.
mhm. Oh, it's a good question. my company is when I start in this area, I bump in gender stereotyping and sexist infrastructure in my former company, my first company. But my current company, the things are great. I think we have the how can I say? I have a culture focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this never was a great problem for me. I suffer discrimination for being a woman, for being blonde, young, especially in this predominantly male environment, but the most part was with clients. But when I start doing my job, shows my abilities, my skills, I think these discriminations reduce a lot. So I think that things are changing. Uh, I don't know exactly how I can do to reduce that, but I try not feel afraid with men's. I know I can do a great job, so I feel confidence with that. And my company give me this opportunity. As I told you, we have this work culture very strong in my company.
Flavia, do you have a question for either Marina or for Ana Paula?
Mm, I, uh, I want to know if for both, because in the past we have a pay gap.
Gender pay gap.
I wanna know if they feel this nowadays in their companies, and and if they suffer any time in some experience of discrimination.
So can I start?
Please, yeah.
There was one time that a manager, I had a interview to be promoted, and the manager asked to me the if I I want to be pregnant in 2 years in the future, okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh, and
Terrible.
uh, yeah, this and I didn't gave the promotion, and
You
I
didn't get the
think that
promotion?
no, this time not, and
What
I'm
was your
sure
answer to the question?
no,
Uh-huh.
the at time that time I wouldn't like to be pregnant, okay, and I said no, uh, it's like that, but I didn't get the promotion, and I'm sure that I didn't get because I'm a woman.
Wow.
It was promoted another man that has the rates, the sailor rates,
Selling
os
rates?
selling rates,
I don't know. Portuguese.
ah, os índices de venda,
Oh, okay. Sales rates. Uh-huh.
sales rate less than mine.
Yeah. Marina?
Oh, in the past, when I started my career, I was young, and as I was young and woman, and I worked at a logistic team. There was a lot of men. It was a male environment. There was discrimination because I was woman and I was really young, but as Flavia said, when I started showing my abilities, my doing the project, is I start to broke this discrimination to, and Nowadays, I work for a company that here we also have a lot of diversity. We talk a lot of diversity and inclusion. We need to have a percentage of women working here. So I was hired uh, during the pandemic with two kids, and my kids, it was really young when I was hired. So they believe they work a lot of diversity. So nowadays there is no, I think that there is the discrimination. Some men they have it, but it's not as it was in the past.
Okay. Ana Paula, would you like to ask a question of either or both Marina and Flavia?
Mm, for both, uh, do you have or did you have some situation that a woman did a discrimination? Another woman did some discrimination with you? Because I think sometimes we pass about per this situation with another woman and is more difficult than with men.
Mm, can I
Yeah,
start?
please.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I it's not a discrimination, but my last manager, uh, she hasn't she hasn't kids, children, and she's really workaholic. It, like to work for 14 hours per day, and sometimes when I need to leave at 6 p.m., or I need to take my kids to the doctor. uh, it was a problem to her because she can't understand this my routine, because of my kids, as she hasn't kids and she was really, oh, I just work, and it's not a discrimination, but I believe that it was missing empathy from her side.
That's very interesting, Marina. You're talking to two women managers who don't have kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Flavia.
Like Marina, I had one case. It's not exactly discrimination, but my former boss, she's older. Now she was retired, but I remember for her, women should raise children. So she considered us the main caregiver. So I think she gave the greatest opportunity for men's, and she always say, "Oh, when you will be a mother, you will see." And I think he had a different treatment with the women that had babies. It's not a discrimination. Was a kind of, how can I say, a way to
Appreciation.
appreciate. Maybe she was trying to protect the mothers of the team, but in the same time we had the worst opportunity, maybe on a trip, because she had this idea that they should spend more time with the baby more than the father, for example.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Very. You guys brought up some aspects that I didn't even think about. Really. I mean, we talked about caregivers. We talked about mothers, but Anna's Paula question was very good about women discriminating against women by gender or by role. I didn't even consider that women uh, are an element in the workplace environment for other women. So I would like for you guys to comment on that aspect, how important you think it is, uh, or how significant it is about women uh, creating participating in creating the environment, the work culture for other women. What do you think about that? Okay, for example, Flavia, you have a team. Ana Paula, you have a team. Um, do you try to modify the culture uh, to achieve diversity, equity, and inclusion for women?
Yes, I think it's very important. I don't know if if have a specific word, because in Portuguese we call sororidade. There is a word for that in English. Sororidade.
Sisterhood, sisterhood.
Sisterhood. Yes. Ah, okay. I think involves empathy. How can I say? I think that sisterhood uh, carries the idea that we become stronger when they are together. So I think it's very important, empathy, solidarity, and this unity with the women. I think we become stronger when we are together.
Ana Paula?
And we can show that the life we live in a collaboration type. For
Uh-huh.
example, in a couple, it's not only the woman that need to care the kids and do the homework, and the couple is responsible for that. When you is a manager and when you is responsible to environment another woman, you can show this for her.
Marina, did she mention something interesting about uh, family roles for men and women? And I know for you that that is obviously something that's different about your situation than either Flavia or Ana Paula. You are married. You've been married for some years. Both you and your husband are professionals. Flavia,
What? To repeat, please?
yeah. Did you raise your hand or did
No, no,
you?
no, no, no.
Okay, you did. Okay, that's it. Oh, okay. So, yeah, talk about what Ana Paula was saying about the role of the couple, not just the woman.
I believe that we are trying to change it to show to men that the responsibility it's for the couple, but it's difficult to. Here in my case, my husband he works and he traveling a lot because of his work, and so besides I work. For I also work, but I don't travel a lot. So the main responsibility of the kids it's my responsibility because I'm here every day. When he's here, he tried to help me. Oh, sometimes this week you take the kids at the school today. I need to stay to work here, but it's not something really natural. You need to to how can I say import. We need to
To make the point.
make the point. Oh, okay, this is to-do list with the kids. There isn't some it's not something natural here in it's my case, and I believe that most of men's that I work and have kids, I can see that the men responsibility it's for the for women, for for moms, not for the men that I work. When I work with another person, people, the men's that I work, Oh no, my wife do this. My wife will take care of about that, even if the wife works for a company.
Flavia, do you have any comments or observations up until this point?
No, no.
Okay,
I
that's
think
an easy answer.
I think the texts are from both. Sometimes I heard some men saying, "Oh, I'm helping my wife with the kids," and I actually I had one employee, and he say these words for me last week. Oh my God, you're not helping your wife. It's your job too. The kid, it's your, it's the same. This is the responsibility is the same for both. But as I say in our society, the society considers the woman the main caregiver, and some mothers don't see that as a problem and they want to spend more time with their kids, but we need to change this idea. And we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, later. We see some views about that in some countries. It's different. I hope the things are changing in this way.
Yeah, Ana Paula. Um, well, you introduced the comment, this observation. Um, does that affect you? I mean, you're single, you don't have children. Does this factor into your career?
So I have some example. It's not on my career, but for example, my last manager, Adriano, do you know that
Yeah,
he
yeah, I know.
and he has the same res, responsibility that the him wife, okay,
His
with the
wife.
kids, his
Uh,
wife. Yeah, and it's a relationship really, really good, or I don't know. Uh,
effective.
ex- it, it's an example
Uh,
for others, okay, and I think that it's a culture, okay. It's our culture, but it is changing. I really believe that.
I think it's changing. I know I'm different than my father. My father's time, no, the woman is in the kitchen, the woman serves the man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you guys remember from your fathers or at least your grandfathers. Um, but I'm different. I cook in my house, I help clean. But about, for example, childcare. All my children, when they're sick, they don't want daddy, they want mommy. Okay. No, daddy's that guy. Daddy's that's the guy mom's with. But okay, when they're afraid, when they want to be cuddled. Cuddled means receber carinho. Uh, they want mom. Dad is not the first guy. So I mean, there are some things that I believe women. We know women in human society occupy a very unique place that men cannot duplicate. It's true. You guys can do some things that we do duplicate when there's no option. But my biggest example is when men are in war and they're on the battlefield and they were injured or wounded. They don't cry for their father; they cry for their mothers. Okay, so it's I think, an instinct level, the bond between mother and child. So I don't think we can really discount that. But I understand what you're saying. I know that I help. For example, uh, at the beginning of last week, my youngest child had respiratory problems. So my wife has to take him to the doctor.
Mhm.
And we don't have a car right now, so she has to take him on the bus. And it's not easy taking a sick child on the bus to the doctor. Okay. But when she goes, even though I'm teaching here, I have classes, I try to wash the dishes and to prepare the lunch because she can't. And I want to help her. I don't want her to think about that. We have other children coming home, and that's just the reality. So, yeah, um, I think things are changing. I think you're right. Okay, so let me see. Where are we? What is our time at this point? Tell me up until this point, what do you guys think about this conversation, about this opportunity for women professionals to share their experiences? How is this uh, event going for you up until this moment?
I think it's great. I love to hear experience in different areas, in different environment, because I know, as I said, I'm in a specific environment in this engineer thing. So I think discrimination is very clear for me. But it's good to know how the things are changing in the other sectors, and switch some ideas if other girls in other areas. It's great for me.
And it's a topic that we need to talk about every time, because when we do that, we can reinforce the the things that the woman can do the same thing, and has the same abilities of the man, and we need to be treated like the same,
Treated the same.
tratados is treated.
Yes. Marina?
Yes, I agree with both. I think it's a subject that we are struggling with, this to be confident with a leader, as a woman, and as a leader, and it's something that we are struggling for years. So I need and I believe that. Most of companies nowadays, they are working on working on it to be more flexible, to develop diversity, equity. It's a subject that a lot of companies are talking about.
So, I don't know if you all had the opportunity to read the complete article or just the passages that I sent, but they talked about microaggressions. Okay. Um, have any of you suffered in recent times, like in the last few years? Have you suffered any microaggressions at work from male colleagues or male superiors?
Recently, no. In the past, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I suffered, but recently, no.
Can you give us an example of what that microaggression might be? Well, Ana
Ah,
Paula gave us a perfect one. Do you think you will want to have babies in 2 years?
yes.
Yeah,
This
you
is
don't ask a guy. You don't ask a guy, hey, are you going
yeah.
to have.
Actually, I didn't suffer a microaggression. I think I suffered a macroaggression.
Okay.
Yes. Once I was in a client to solve. When we are finished a contract, we have to solve some indemnization. So the guy said, "Oh, Muse is my company. Muse sent me a girl to discuss this thing, and she thought I was younger, and I wasn't prepared to discuss the subject, and I suffered other kinds of harassment. Uh, I think I told you it's a very particular thing, but once my former boss made me doubt about my abilities if I was in that position because I was competent, because she started to hit on me many times in
He started, right? He.
he yes.
Okay.
So it was very uncomfortable for me, but as I told you, the things are changing. I don't know if it's because I'm working in this company for many years. So I become recognized in this area. I don't know, and but I suffer this that I told you.
It's okay. That's interesting because until Flavia talked about this, none of you talked about sexual harassment. Has sexual harassment been something that Ana Paulo or Marina have ever suffered in your careers?
No, no, not in my case.
Wow, that's interesting. Never. Never did a guy try to hit on you like a boss or a colleague or something like this. You know the
No,
expression hit on?
no, what's it on?
Cantar.
No,
Alguém tentar
Dá em
cantar
cima
com.
de você.
Ah,
no,
maybe.
Ok, não, você fala, oh, yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
they the men usually do some jokes.
yeah,
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, that's the point. Exactly.
usually.
Well,
It's
look,
because sometimes it's subtle. We have this difficult to call harassment, or sometimes they do that and no, no, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Sometimes
so
we can put energy on in things. So we, how can I say? A gente minimiza.
we minimize things.
We minimize the situation for the things don't become worse. But I think these things happens a lot.
Well, you guys, I'm an old guy. I come from the old school. And so, yeah, I'm one of those guys that used to make jokes or even flirt because in my time, well, I thought that was part of the environment, part of the world, and I think it was more back in those days. But tell me, you guys are of a different generation. Uh, if somebody makes a kind of a joke like that, or they hit on you, or flirt with you, how does it make you feel if it's in the workplace? And does it always make you feel the same? Does it depend on the guy and the situation? Or does it just that you think that should never happen? Or you think it's okay, it's normal, whatever?
I believe that nowadays, um, and I don't know, but at my company and a lot of companies, we have compliance, and so people now they people are more attention with compliance rules and it's in the past people say what do you want the way that you want, but nowadays we have compliance and
Yeah.
we they are companies are um,
Reporting channels, for example, and you
yes,
can
reporting
make
channels and
anonymous
yes, you
announce.
can do
Yes.
a speak up,
Yeah.
and your identify it's not will be reviewed. So people are taking more about how to talk to another person, especially with women doing these jokes.
But it's
Okay.
not with women, right? With all the diversities.
Yeah.
Everybody has more preoccupation with what they talking about another person.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's completely different than
Uh,
for me 20 years ago.
when I had this episode with my former boss, look what happened. He stopped including me in the meetings. He stopped to talking to me at the company. So I was very young and I didn't know how to act, and was terrible. I remember I was living in another state because I was living in São Luís, because my company opened office there at the time. So it was terrible. And nowadays I know I couldn't had a talk with his boss and use this reporting channels, but I was very nervous. I was a bad time for me.
Okay, so Ana Paula and Flavia, because you guys are single, I know Marina is a very faithful wife and mother. So, um, you guys, would are you always absolutely offended if someone flirts with you in the workplace?
Uh, I think in the workplace is not a right place for doing that. So I think I would feel uncomfortable with the situation. Maybe outside the company, but in the office, no. I think I would be very uncomfortable with the situation.
Yeah.
Ana Paula,
Uh, uh, there's some, how to say, ditado in English,
there's a saying.
where, yeah, where you earn the bread, you don't eat the
Don't
meat.
eat the meat.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a different, slightly different saying in English. You don't shit where you sleep.
You don't
Mm.
shit where you
Where
sleep.
you sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
The meaning is the same,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Don't make a mess in your own most important environment. So, well, okay, but I understand. Flavia said possibly outside of work. It could be a coworker or a peer or a colleague or a subordinate or a superior. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Okay, for example, the majority of people, when they meet their boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife or husband, they meet either in school or they meet at work. Those are the most common places.
Hmm.
So, how does that affect the workplace? For example, a lot of men and women do meet at work. That is where they make the contact because that's where you spend most of your time.
Hmm.
So, what do you think? Is there a hard and fast rule all the time? Keep everything outside of work, nothing here, no personal conversations. Where is the line for you guys? Marina, you're a really beautiful woman. All of you. That's wow. Look at me tonight, surrounded by beautiful women professionals. This is great. But look at me. Yee. I just harassed all of you guys. Okay. So, but for you, Marina, in your life, um, come on. I think at some time there must have been some guys that were getting a little too close to the line.
I don't know because in my case we work a lot of about during at the lunch time and or during the cough time when we start to work about our personal life. I work about a lot of my routine about my life, about my husband and my kids.
Oh,
So I think that if some man try to do something, he will be more intimidated because I will always be talk about my family, and I think that he will say, "Oh my God, she talks about she talks a lot about her family." So nowadays, I don't feel it, and when we are talking about our personal life, I always try to be clear about my relationship because I know some cases, some histories about people. A friend of mine that it was married and knew a person at the work, the work environment, and broke up the marriage
yeah.
to start a relationship with another person. From the work environment, I know some histories like that. So I try to be clear about my family and about my status.
Yeah, I understand. It's like create this image that no, forget it's not even possible.
Yeah.
Flavia, uh, you have a team of people. If two people on your team wanted to date each other, would they have to do it in secret or could they be open?
Could be open, but we have some rules. They don't. They if they can't work directly together, or being has some
Subordinate,
kind as
yeah.
subordinate. Yes, in my company, there are some couples, but they don't work directly together. But I think it's
Oh.
complicated, even so. But I think it both have respect. It's fine. Yeah, there's no problem.
Ana Paula, didn't you tell me some of your colleagues at work had a project involving you?
Yeah, they want to get some to planning my marriage.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's a plan.
okay.
Some boyfriends are like that.
How does it work? Do you have
They
do you have a
really want to
boyfriend?
do
Do you
that.
have a boyfriend?
No,
No.
because
Flavia,
Oh,
that,
really? Really?
they are planning your marriage, but you don't.
yeah.
Got it. Oh, okay,
uh,
so that's kind of my point, you guys. This area, it is a sensitive area, but look, she has a group of colleagues that are her friends, and they are planning her marriage. Oh, she needs to get married. Now,
Mm,
this could be seen as a negative thing. It could be even seen as a microaggression, like you're criticizing me being single, you're trying to putting pressure on me, or it can be a positive thing. These are my friends; they care about me, and it's humorous, but they have interest in my situation. The other thing
yeah.
is, I want to ask you, all of you as a group, um, compared to the rest of the world, in terms of women in the workplace. Where do you think Brazil ranks on providing a good environment or a safe environment for women compared to the rest of the world?
I don't know the rank, but
yeah.
I believe that we are not at the top. I believe that will be the down of the ranking, the in the
Low in the ranking. Low,
low
low.
in the ranking.
Do you agree, Ana Paula?
Yeah, because I don't know exactly where we are, but my my in my work, I know that we have some politician about
No, policies,
equity
policies.
policies about equity, but I know this is not true in another place. The reality for other women
Women.
uh, women are more difficult.
Flavia?
I think Brazil is progressing in this theme like other countries. As the other girls said, I don't know the rates, I don't know the speed, but I think we are improving. Women in leadership position. Uh, but I don't know. I think the things are improving, but uh,
Well,
comparing to other countries, I really don't know, John.
Flavia and I were having a conversation about this in one of our classes. I'm from Brasilia, so in Brasilia, one thing we know is that more women take concurso than men, but that's because more women go to university than men.
Mhm.
So, at least in government, there are more women than men. Okay, so that's just because more women take concurso, and more women pass. The other thing is more women go to university, so more women professionals are being produced. So, from my point of view, as an American coming to Brazil, and especially at that transition point, 2000 to now, in the last 20 years. Um, I saw women integrated uh, in bigger numbers in many positions than in the United States, for example. Women police officers, women firefighters, bomberos,
Mm-hmm.
women paramedics, women doctors. So, uh, from my point of view, and I don't have the statistic either, but I think Brazil has been, it's been easier for women to penetrate the Brazilian workforce because of the fact that there are more professional women graduating from universities, taking courses, applying for jobs. They're just more.
But
Mm-hmm.
can I?
Please.
But there is more women in a working force, working place, but there isn't more women in a leadership position. This is the really difference.
Leadership.
In the position,
Yeah,
okay?
that's exactly what the article was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get that? Did you understand what they meant by the broken rung?
Mm-hmm.
Marina, did you understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So do you think that's true? That rung is broken, that it's much harder for women to make the first step in management to become a manager? That's the where the bottleneck is.
I think it's true because the article shows some numbers about that and brought some explanations for that, and we we talk a little bit about them.
Well, the other thing, and Ana Paula talked about that. Are you going to have children? We read another article that's saying that women that don't have children, their career trajectory is does not that much different than men. Women
Yes,
that do have children, their trajectory is like this. Wow.
uh, we watch a video
Oh,
about that.
Marina.
Remember, the people start talking about we could pay for equal work, and in the past, women didn't work outside at home at all. So we weren't educated as men, and discrimination was totally legal. But the things are changing. Many factors that were causing this pay gap, they shrunk, except for one that I said a few minutes ago. Women are considered the main caregiver. So I think I reached the position that I am today because I don't have kids. Uh, I think that it's sad, but it's true.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the video shows some images, some graphics about that, this gap, gender gap. Maybe sometimes, the example is there's two lawyers, and in some moment, it's a couple, they have kids, and when they have some task for visit a doctor, or when the kid is sick, and these situations, the woman stay with the kids, and the men still increase in the company. So the gender gap really is between women with children and everybody else nowadays.
Okay, I think that's an interesting position. Tell me, Marina, you're the one with children. Do you think that is a legitimate consideration for a company?
Do you think that they have water? Huh?
A
Le?
legitimate consideration when a company considers a woman that has children and a woman that doesn't have children?
Yes, I think that it's a consideration, and because depend of the title. For example, if you need to travel a lot, oh, of course, that a woman that have children will not be considered for this position. So
Yeah.
I think that we have this.
Eh,
this it's separate. We have this discrimination.
I have two nephews, and my sister-in-law, uh, she lost her job the both time when after the pregnancy. Yeah.
That's why Ana Paula is not letting her friends get her married.
Yes.
Thank you, but
Oh, I don't.
Not now.
I don't have a relationship. I don't have a marido,
at the
gente,
moment, at the moment.
at the moment. But I always think about that because I'm in a position, and when I get pregnant, I don't know how. Maybe I can lose my job. Can
I
lose my
have
job.
some friends that they are postponing to have kids because of their jobs. Oh my God! But how I will be away for 6 months and
Olha, Ana Paula with her child behind her.
Yeah.
This is my nephew, Bernardo. Say hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Bernardo. Hello.
hello.
Hello. Fala.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hi, Bernardo.
Hello, Bernardo.
Hello.
So cute.
Yeah.
So, Ana Paula, cuidado. You cannot let your supervisors at Banco do Brasil see. They will have the
Yeah,
wrong idea.
Bye.
she's not
I think she
listening.
not listen.
Yeah.
I know.
Put
Bye.
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Ana
Sorry.
Paula, now your supervisors at Banco do Brasil will see you with the child and they'll go, no, no, no. Okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay, ladies. This would normally be in our normal session when we bring this completely to market. This would be the session. This would be 1 hour roundtable discussion. So, in the next few minutes, I would like to use you as a focus group to get your opinion. Flavia already did this on the other roundtable. So, tell me what you think about this experience, about this format, um, about this event. What it what is your impression? Would someone like to start?
Our impression
Flavia,
about this time. Oh, sorry.
about this event. Yeah.
I like to have time like this because it's different to talk to another person than you that it's our teacher, and it's different. The dynamic here is different. We need to pay attention how to say the things. We need to be more confident to talk about some subject with another person. So it's different, and you're not correcting us all the time. You make you leave us to be how can I say, to be free to make some mistakes, but the main idea we are trying to talk, it's good to talk like this. I
Ana
like
Paula?
So, I'm really nervous and my mind is clean.
it.
Now I think that I don't know speak Portuguese or English, but it's really what I think it's really what I need because I need to im- improve. I need to talk,
Improve.
improve, and to talk without some some text. Okay, and it's really good.
Great.
Yeah.
Flavia? Flavia, how was this experience compared to your other experience?
For me, it was better. And at first, I was very nervous. I talked to John. I don't know. I almost canceled. Very close. But I like this roundtable for many reasons. It's a network. I particularly prepare myself better on the subject, so I was worried about being here, so I study the subject before, and I think this way to have this conversation bring us closer to the reality in a meeting, in a situation when you we need use your English. So I liked it the first time, but now I think I like more. I think we start to we to familiarizar, sei lá se existe essa
Yeah,
palavra,
familiarize, familiarize.
with the way, with the meeting, if so feel more comfortable. So on being here, I like a lot.
Okay, what Flavio is talking about the way things go. So we do have a specific format in 4 segments. Tell me, do you think this? What do you think about this format? Is it effective? Does it work? Do you think we should do something differently? What is your idea about the way we present this event and how the sequence is?
I like a lot the way that
Yeah.
uh, you lead the meeting first. People introduce, give a little opinion about the subject. After, I think the things start to flow naturally. Yes, I like
Ma-
this format. Yes.
Marina?
Yes, for me it's effective, and even if you try to, okay, we try to be prepared for this discussion, to read about the topic, to read the vocabulary, but here we never know how what the other person will ask to us, how the discussion will flow. So it's interesting because we are. Training how to be in situations like that. We start a conversation and you don't know what the other person will ask to you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Paula?
It's the same. It's really good.
Good, good. That's of course that's what I want to hear. You're saying exactly what I want to hear. Uh, Tell me, this is Flavia's second time. Would either of you or Marina and Paula, Marina, would you be interested in participating in future roundtables?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yes.
Okay, great. And if we bring this, not if, when we bring this service to market, do you think you could be potential clients for this service?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, like Annabelle, yeah, maybe that makes this focus group more authentic. So they know that I'm not saying these are just my friends and they say whatever I want. They say, yeah, maybe. Okay. I had one in Bruno in the first one. He said, no, for me, no, this is not for me. So he said he prefers classes. Okay, ladies, thank you very, very much. I will be sending a link to the recording for you, and I will be doing an individual evaluation of each of you on vocabulary, syntax, pronunciation, and grammar. And I will let's see that yeah, and I will do a group evaluation to show where your scores are inside the group, and I should deliver that to you within 1 week. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I think, well, Flavia already saw. Normally, I make clips from this to show to other people about the event. Are you okay if I make a clip from this?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. I know it's been a long day. I know you guys are tired, but I'm very happy to have this group. Well, plus, wow, for advertising, I have beautiful women. Everyone's going to want to participate. This is great. You know, I didn't have to pay models. Okay. Okay. Good night,
So,
ladies.
so
Good
Thank
night,
you. Bye
Joe.
bye.
Thank you,
Nice to
guys.
meet you. Bye
bye
bye.
bye. Bye bye.